Now, the rest of the story.
Hi, welcome back. Movie like, I don't know, 3 or 4 in during the day, but I wanted to go over this really quick because I don't really do too many videos or really look at tender wagons that much, at least these liquid tendered wagons that much. We had one last year that didn't have the front carrying end on it. It was just a tank with a simple trailer like this, and honestly I think it's kind of handy. I really think it'd be nice to have one around. I don't know what the upkeep is on these, but especially when we're going to keep doing side dressing, and ideally with doing the side dressing like we are, and my intentions are to keep expanding the side dressing from where we're at, because like right now I'm just doing mine, so that's excuse me, all the bugs. At least we pull that cultivator over at least a couple hundred acres every year, and having something like this that is here for us to use full time would be kind of nice. But on the other hand, seems how we're going through these guys, they've actually been really good to us. I mean, the thing I really like about this tender trailer, and mind the mess, I gotta pick all my seed bags back up, is I actually like this little pallet compartment it has on it. We did throw a strap over it because I did come down the road with it, but what I was actually told from a friend is I shouldn't have put the truck on it, because this is just a 3/4 ton, and if you guys can see, she's kind of squatted down pretty good. If I had a full load of liquid on it plus the seed, I didn't have anything in the back earlier, I just threw the seed off of the pallet, but really I think it's really meant for the tractor. That's what my friend was telling me. It's just got a regular hitch on it with the pin. I was really thinking about putting either the 4020 or the 76 on it to bring it down, but let's be honest, I don't have a whole lot of time to mess around. None of us do. With the current weather situation, which for any of you that don't know, they are saying rain for like the next 2 weeks, starting in like 24 hours. So it's like a mad dash to try to get as much done as we possibly can. We do have to get a little bit more liquid fertilizer coming, or starter, I mean. We are going through it at, well, pretty average pace. I gotta call and at least get them coming tomorrow. But the thing that was really neat about this is you pull this pin out, this little bar comes off, and then I just use a skid steer and set that whole pallet on there, and then you got a one hole self-contained tendering unit. I mean, you can make like a flatbed trailer or something like that work, but I just like how this thing is just a nice, simple, tight unit. So from the pump in the front, which is easily accessible, I mean, you're not tripping over yourself trying to get to it. It's got the different shutoffs on it on different parts of it, but that's really no big deal because it's easily accessible all around it. I mean, you're not tripping over things. The center compartment where you have all the seed, have yet to actually pull any seed off of it yet. I'm waiting on Dad. We just started down here and we had a little bit of a mishap, but nothing 10 minutes and a crescent wrench won't fix. So the tank itself, 1,000-gallon tank, and it was plumb full. I was actually told that if you're gonna move it around the buildings too much, not by the ag guys, but by my friend, because he's done liquid tender trailers like this before in the past. We don't have a whole lot of experience with them just yet. And he said that in his past experience, especially because he has similar hills like we do, that he's like, put a tractor on it. He says, he's like, the 4020 will handle it. He said, just something it's got the weight up front and the diff lock. And he says, it'll handle pulling that up your hills better than your truck will. And he's like, honestly, it's easier when the tank is full, because when you don't have the liquid sloshing back and forth, which I felt going down the highway with the truck earlier. I mean, I actually had the truck was bouncing back and forth, but the tractor just handles it better. Now, I don't really think this camera really gives you an idea of the rolling nature of our hills. I mean, these are actually some pretty mild ones. I mean, comes down into the valley and it goes back up to the front section. You guys hear me talk about the front section and the back section at my place all the time. This is the divider, this little grass hollow right here. This actually used to be trees. I do remember at one point, I think I was around the age of 10, might have been 9 or 10, there was trees all up from this hill here. This is actually a pretty steep little hill. Many times we've gotten stuck out of that. Grandpa actually got his 4230, you know, his baby, pulling a 250 bushel gravity box full of corn, wet corn in the fall, and he actually got stuck. And he was trying to tell me that I couldn't pull it with the 4440, and I think I had the 350 bushel box behind me, and I pulled it just fine. I mean, because it was in the fall, it was kind of soft, and they told me that they didn't think I would be able to make it, but I did. So of course, Grandpa, oh, the grandson did it. Oh, of course, my 4230 with a synchro transmission and no rear weight and little bitty suitcase weights in the front, that can handle that just fine. Well, the 4230 made it up about halfway to maybe 2/3 the way up the hill. I'm hearing this from from Dad, by the way. And of course, Dad was down here combining, and Grandpa spun out, got into a position where he couldn't back up down the hill, so up, straight ahead was the only way to go. So Dad used the combine, because the combine, the 6620, had a tow hitch on the back, you know, for pulling the combine out, you know, vice versa. So the 4230, back when Grandpa was around, I think all of our tractors had chains on them. The 42, the 29, the 4020s, at least 2 of the 4020s. The chore tractors always had chains on them for largely that reason: pulling trees, pulling tractors, pulling strangers' cars off your property. And I joke about that one, you know, sometimes. And what Dad ended up doing is he came pulling up around Grandpa with the 6620, and he said, Grandpa, you could see him just fuming in the cab because, you know, he can't get stuck with this 4230. And Dad says, sure enough, he says he hooked the chain up to it and that hydrostat transmission. So he's like, literally just took the handle and he said, just walked it right out. And he's like, the problem is that put the kibosh for Travis doing it the rest of the day, because since Grandpa proved that he couldn't make it, we had to go through up, I mean, it is a probably safer path. There's 2 gates between this pasture here, and you can actually take the road across, so it's more of a straight shot. Better when we had this all contoured off, but we don't need that much hay. This farm, as far as soybeans go, I wouldn't feel confident enough to put this farm into soybeans until we at least were able to come to the agreement that we're going to at least try a roller and roll our soybeans after we plant them and try to get those rocks pushed down into the soil. Because up along the second cow pasture, it is it's nasty. You could hire the entire school football team to pick rocks for 3 months straight, and by the following year it'll look like they were never even there. So, all right guys, I got to get moving. I'm actually going to open some gates for Ryan. The goal is to keep running as long as everybody's willing to keep running. I mean, I'm going on 48 hours without sleep, or since I woke up yesterday. So we're going on, I'm about 40 hours, give or take. Probably a little less by now. So with that, take care, take it easy, keep in touch, stay warm, stay safe. Any of my ag viewers that are still watching. So I'll talk to you later.